Welcome back to my channel for another video. In today's video, I take you along on a major deep clean, organize, and declutter of my kitchen. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom to 4 kiddos. Starting off the new year, I was super excited and motivated to get my house back in order, less cluttered, and a lot more organized. Having little ones definitely adds a little more chaos to your life, but with a few adjustments and organization, that chaos is a little bit better managed. If you were in need of a pick-me-up this morning and some motivation to get your Monday started, please give this video a thumbs up so I know to create more content like this. And without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing I'm getting done is clearing out our snack cupboard as well as our baby things and plastic dishes, with the effort of being a little bit more minimal, having less dirty dishes and stuff laying around. I'm downsizing some of my little ones' plastic cups and dishes. My 2.5-year-old is at the age now where he's able to drink out of a regular cup and use ceramic dishes with us as well. I like to get the IKEA ones, which you guys will see in a little bit. They're super easy, durable, cheap, they're white, so they look really nice. And if he does end up throwing it on the floor, which he doesn't do anymore, then they don't really break very much. As for my daughter, she's primarily breastfed, so keeping a few bowls and cups for her for on the go will allow us to have less stuff in our cupboards and also encourage us to do more dishes more frequently.
There was something going on, that shade of doubt hanging around. Darling, there is nothing right when all you seem to do is lie. Those days are gone, I'm walking tall while you're alone. When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better.
Like I mentioned, this whole bank of drawers and cupboards is all designated for my children. My kitchen has a really awkward layout. That's why we're planning on doing the renovation in here. So in these drawers down below, we have our kids' lunch kits for school, their bento boxes, thermoses, water bottles that they take to school, as well as all of the plastic stuff. And then that bottom drawer has some craft stuff, which I'm not going to tackle today. There's just so much in there, and I just don't have the time to tackle that. But like I said, inch away at it, really small. You don't have to tackle it all on the same day. You can just get things done one at a time. When I used to do this, I always wanted to get everything done at once, and I got really overwhelmed. I was spending no time with my children, and I just couldn't manage my time properly. So like I said, just go at it as you can, at your own pace. Manage it the way you want to manage it, and just get it done.
What I've done now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off. Baby, you don't belong. Your love was cold, heart made of stone, but I'm just fine. I'm gonna shine. I'm alright. I'm celebrating my liberation. I'm moving strong.
I love using baskets like this when I organize my space. It really doesn't have to be expensive at all. You can go to the dollar store, the Dollar Tree, whatever you have in your area, and just get things like this. I primarily like this because my older 2 are 8 and 10, so if they're wanting a snack, I can say pick one from one basket and one from another basket. So we tend to keep the healthier snacks in one, and like the bars and things that are least healthy in the other one. That way they know the beige basket has one, the white basket has the other, and it just makes it a lot easier that way. And if they want to help out their brother or sister with a snack, then that also works. And then in this left-hand cupboard right here, I have mostly like my daughter's stuff, my son's toothbrush, some medicinal items up there too for the little ones if I need them right off the bat. My toddler can't reach these, so that's why they're up there. I've kind of tweaked this around multiple times in the past year or two. just for it to be a little bit more functional for our family. And my toddler just needed a big kiss and a hug. Right now I'm filming while my daughter's napping and he's awake. Typically, I'll do this on times where they're both napping or go to bed, but since this is a bigger project, I like to tackle it throughout the day so I don't get overly overwhelmed. Typically, if I'm going to do something like this, it's okay to set your child down with a quick show, in my opinion anyways, or I put some Play-Doh or some sensory play down on the table or even on the floor in the kitchen on a mat, and he'll play there while I get something like this done. He is very active with what we're doing around the house. He likes to help clean up. He likes to help cook. So I also do encourage him to help with that.
I'm around. Might be shaken but not stirred. Just a lesson that I've learned. And so it goes. Tables turn. You're on your own.
This is the cupboard that holds all of our glasses, our regular drinking glasses, beer mugs, cocktail glasses, champagne flutes, and all of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and reorganize this, get rid of some glasses that are chipped or broken or things like that. Like I said, minimize a lot of the stuff. There is no need for us to have 50 drinking glasses. We never have that many people in our home. And if we do, I'm going to be the type of person that offers plastic cups at that point because I do not want to wash 50 glasses. So I want to go ahead and just downsize that just so we don't have so many drinking glasses. And I almost want to go ahead and like get some chalk labels on some of those mason jars and just write everyone's names on one so everyone has their one glass of water for the day. So we're not washing like 12 or 15 water glasses at the end of the day. Being a family of 6, which is a larger family, 5 of us who use glasses on a regular day, if we don't end up using the same glass over and over and over again per person, then we end up with like 15 or 20 dirty glasses at the end of the day, which I just don't want to have to wash, whether I'm putting them in the dishwasher or hand washing them. In the event to save energy, save money, and save time, it would be so much easier if everyone just used 1 glass per day.
When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better, better. When I look at what I've done now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off. Baby, you don't belong.
This is the cupboard that has been giving me the most anxiety. Has most of our baking stuff, all of our mason jars with all of our dry goods in it, as well as some spices and packages and things like that. It was just getting super overwhelming. You couldn't find anything half the time. I was actually looking for something the other day, couldn't find it, had to go out to the store and buy it, and then realized I had like way too much of it sitting back in this cupboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my bulk items, put it inside of my mason jars so that those are really readily accessible. They stay fresher longer in mason jars. I find they look cute. It's a really inexpensive way to put your dry goods in. We do things like flaxseed, chia seeds, brown sugar, white sugar, quinoa, different kinds of rice, just a ton of things. And then we'll just put them in there. I'm also going to use this cupboard to add my spices to it. Right now my spices are in a cupboard on the other side close to my oven. But since our oven is actually moving right here on the left-hand side of this makes the most sense for us. The other cupboard is also super high, so it's hard for me to access anything that's not like right at the front of it. My husband can do it, but for me it's just not overly feasible, so I decided to just reorganize my spices a little bit, take them out of the spice rack, and just add them to this cupboard too. I'm also going to go ahead and organize all of like my sauce mixes and the taco mixes. We don't use these very often, but they're also really, really great to have. So I like to organize these standing up in the cupboard so they're easy to find, they're not creating a ton of mess. And I'll just go ahead and add all of the rest of my baking goods in here too. When I'm doing something like this, I always like to look at expiration dates too, making sure that everything is still fresh, making sure that I can downsize a lot of stuff. Like you guys can see here, I've got multiple things of Himalayan sea salt. I also got multiple things of pepper. So to save space and reduce waste, I'm just going to go ahead and put them all together in one container so that I have them all. We have a summer home that we go to every summer. We're there all the time. So that's why we end up with multiples of a lot of things, because we have salt and pepper and condiments and olive oil and avocado oil over there. And then we also have them at home. But when we go and close that for the season, since it's not insulated, we bring all of the stuff home.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
And before I go ahead and put my little spice jars in there, I'm going to take the bulk spices that I ended up getting at the store and just adding them to those little white jars or clear jars. I also get these little chalk labels put on front. I think I'm actually going to get a label maker just so it looks a little bit neater. I find the chalk labels look nice, but they get all smudged and they're hard to like clean off and put back on. So I think I'm going to get a label maker to make everything look a little bit more uniform and nicer. Obviously, it's not a necessity, but for me, it just looks cute. I'm actually going to take all of these little jars off of the spice rack. I think it's just going to fit better and look better in my cupboard, just being off the rack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually got this spice rack with all the little jars on Amazon, as well as the labels too. So I will go ahead and link those down below if you're interested in them. And I also have a complete pantry organization that I did probably last year. So I will also go ahead and put those up in the cards. If you guys are interested, definitely go and check out that video.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back. Eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts.
As you can see, this cupboard is overly cluttered. There's so much stuff. Our big sharp knives so the little ones don't get hurt. We have some food items in here, all of like my protein and all of my workout stuff too. We have like steamer basket, charger plates, placemats, serving trays. There was just so much stuff in here. There was no rhyme or reason. It just got all thrown in here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take all of this out because it's a really nice deep cupboard. It could actually hold a lot of stuff. Since we don't have a pantry in our home and where we house the majority of our dry goods right now, we're actually taking that cupboard out to put a hood fan when we reconfigure our kitchen. I want to go ahead and just use this cupboard right here for our dry goods. So I went ahead and just took everything out, washed it all up, and I'm just going to transfer everything to that cupboard. As you guys can see, we don't have a ton in our cupboard. We actually don't keep a lot of dry goods in the house. Obviously, craft dinner is sometimes easy. We have some like stovetop. We have crackers to go with cheese and pâtés, especially hosting during the summertime. We have some side dishes, salsas, tomato sauce, and pasta. But that's pretty much all we keep in terms of dry goods in the house. We eat a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables, some whole foods. But this cupboard in the corner just made a lot more sense for us, especially since the right-hand cupboard had all of our bread and potatoes, and that left one right next to it had a lot of our baking goods and all of that dry stuff you guys just saw in the mason jars. So that just made sense to move everything over a little bit. next off, I am moving off to clear off my countertops of all of that garbage, and I'm also going to be doing some dishes. I want to go ahead and say that a lot of the time when people are looking at things on social media or YouTube videos, you only see what is in front of the camera. You do not see the rest of the angle that's behind the camera. So while someone's life might look perfect and super organized and clean, not every YouTuber has super clean houses all the time, especially when you have little ones. Life gets the best of you, life gets carried away, and sometimes you just can't keep on track. So definitely don't go and compare yourself to someone here on YouTube, because life is just not like that. I always try and be relatable to you guys. I don't want to look like a slob or anything, but I do know that a lot of people oftentimes will have a kitchen that looks like this, or their cupboards look like that. It just depends on how busy your life is or what your priorities are. My priorities are my family and my husband, and I want to nurture those relationships and make sure that everyone is content. I love having a clean, well-decorated home as well. I want it to be comforting to my family, my kids. I want it to be a nice space to invite people into. Just want it to be peaceful and zen. But that is not always my priority, and it's okay to leave a few dishes on the counter. It's going to happen, and please, please, please do not be hard on yourself.
Be free with me. Yeah, let's go. Be free with me. Oh, come on and let's go. Let's be free with me. Yeah, be free, be free, be free with me.
Now I'm moving on to declutter all of this corner. This was probably the most dreadful part for me once I pulled everything out of the cupboards that we weren't keeping or keeping in this area. Things I had to throw out, things I had to donate, things that I had to rehome somewhere else in my house. This was getting late, I was getting tired, and I did not want to do this task, but I also did not want to leave it on the counters like this. There's just so much stuff. So I was taking up some boxes, putting things in boxes if I had to go store things in the basement or store things for holidays elsewhere. I also wanted to throw some things out that were no good, broken glasses, chipped dishes, and then I went ahead and donated some stuff too. My mom and some friends of mine were actually coming over this weekend, so I wanted to put things aside that they might want so that when they come over, they get free dibs on things they might want before I donate them to a local shelter or re-gift them to someone in the community. As you can see by the outfit change and the brightness in the room, it is the next day. I had to put my cleaning of the kitchen on hold for my mommy duties that day. I did so much work. You guys see it sped up here and you guys see it all cut up. So I just decided to put it aside and get on it the next day. So what I have to do today is clean out all the external cupboards. The reason being is that we were resurfacing our cupboards and redoing our kitchen. So I want to go ahead and help out and actually get all of the cupboards clean, so that he can go ahead and resurface all of those. If I help out and do the cleaning process, then that helps him because he has to do a lot less work when the time comes. Cleaning out my fridge is something that is so satisfying to me. I love cleaning out my fridge. I don't always have time for it, but I try and do it at least weekly just to get some food that might no longer be good out, see what's in the back of these things so I'm not wasting food. I also get to meal plan this way by seeing what I have in the fridge. I also make my grocery list by looking again what I have in the fridge, what I'm going to need to buy to make some meals out of them. Got a ton of fruit and vegetables right now. So So I'm going to go ahead and make a list. I'm going to make like some tacos with all these peppers. Those peppers were like on a ridiculous sale. And I've got some broccoli and cauliflower, so I can go ahead and make so many things with those. I also wanted to go ahead and say, I know I have a ton of plastic in my fridge. Everything is wrapped in plastic here. Just in the area where we live, we don't have some fresh farmers markets in the winter time. So everything you have to buy, you buy from the grocery store, and everything comes in plastic. Besides like field cucumbers, like even English cucumbers come in plastic. Your broccoli, your cauliflower, all of your salads, all of your fruit come in plastic as well. I do try and recycle as much as I can, but if I can't, then it's just life. I try and repurpose it if I can, but it's just the reality right now. Next, I'm going to do something that I don't do often enough, and that's clean out my freezer. It doesn't typically look like this, but we actually spilled a bag of frozen veggies and then some raspberries too. So there's just so much stuff at the bottom of here, and the freezer needed to be cleaned out to see what kind of like meat was at the bottom, and just do like a food rotation and get rid of things that we no longer need or things that might not look great. I like to write dates on things when I make them, if I'm leaving a pasta sauce or a chili or anything that's pre-made that I just need to warm up in the freezer so I know when it was cooked or when it was ready, just so that we know if it's still good or not. And I just went ahead and used this cleaner and just cleaned out the inside of my fridge. When I'm cleaning most surfaces in my house, I like to use an all-natural cleaner, especially when I'm doing food surfaces like the inside of the fridge, the freezer, countertops, places where my kids are going to eat too, just so that they're not like introduced to harsh chemicals. Sometimes, like now, we just got over a cold and flu. My family was sick for about 2 weeks. It just rotated through my house twice. It was crazy. I went ahead and used some harsher chemicals like Clorox and Lysol to clean up like the toilets and the cupboards and handles and just light switches and gross things in the house. But typically, I like to use some chemicals that aren't harsh. I'm using my Dyson vacuum with the small attachment. I have the V8 Total Clean, so it comes with a few different attachments to clean up this bottom warmer drawer in our oven. A lot of people use that to house like baking dishes and pans and things like that, but I was finding them super gross in there, and I got rid of some of my pans to get new ones. So I just went ahead and cleaned that so that I can house them somewhere else and just this doesn't look like gross and disgusting. I also pulled my stove for the first time in like a year. I know it's super gross and disgusting, but I wanted to pull that out and get that all cleaned out just so that it's all ready for the renovation. And then I actually found so many things in there. I actually found my G7X battery charger. I had to go out and get a new one because I had no idea where my toddler had put it, and it was underneath my oven. So it's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. And then I went ahead and used my Method degreaser, which I absolutely love to clean out the inside of my oven. This huge stain in the middle of it, you guys know it's been there forever. It just does not come off. I tried to use a scraper, I tried to use all kinds of stuff, but the rest of it actually comes out nice and clean. It's a really old oven. We're probably going to get a gas range when we remodel the kitchen, but for the time being, in the event to save a little bit of money and be a little bit more frugal, this one is just working just fine, so we're going to keep it. So I just like to clean it and make sure that it's staying nice, it's not smoking. If things are dripping, I just like to keep it clean on a regular basis. And the last thing I'm going to be doing in this kitchen deep clean is just getting these drawers emptied and cleared out for the most part. This bank of drawers is actually moving when we remodel the kitchen because this whole little peninsula is going to be changed into like a center island, or maybe a peninsula, but a little bit more functional for our family. So this will not be here. So I want to take out all the stuff that did not belong, all of the clutter. My toddler loves playing in these drawers and just makes a huge mess out of them. So I wanted to make sure that all of these were clean. Things were getting taken out. The cookie cutters were all back to normal. I love these cookie cutters. They have all the seasons, all the holidays. They're actually super fun, but they make such a huge mess. So I'll probably have to get something with a lid to make sure that they're staying nice and clean. Anyways, guys, that sums up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you guys a ton of cleaning motivation. I hope it got you going on your Monday. If you liked it, like I said, go ahead and give it a thumbs up to let me know that you did enjoy it. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe.
Hanging